quick money. Then I'm about to get in this gym real quick. I'm sorry for the video. So, I saw the preview of the industry hoax, you know, and I was talking to a few people online, and it's crazy because, right, me personally, right, with the Charlie Kirk thing, something just doesn't seem right, man. You know, something just don't seem right, man. You know, like, it just seems like this whole thing seems staged, man, to be honest. Just to me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to offend anybody, you know, disrespect to this man's family. If he is gone, you know, RIP to the man. You know, like I said, I don't stand for, you know, kicking people while they down, or, you know, just because you didn't like things they said, that doesn't mean they deserve, you know, anything bad to happen to them. But for some reason, right, you know, the United States has a pattern of causing distraction and confusion when it comes to these type of events, right? JFK, MLK, the Trump recent shit, even up to back in the days, Abraham Lincoln, right? It's always some lone guy. It's never a group of people that they ever link these people to, really. It's always a lone wolf who might have been radicalized or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, or his ties is nowhere near the government or anything like that. And there's always confusion of what happened, always some type of grainy footage, you know. And when you're dealing with, you know, Hollywood, the CIA, you know, they can make believe. That's what it is, land of make believe. You to believe anything. You know what I'm saying? And something just don't seem right. And you got too many people out here that are trying to prove who shot him and how he was shot. It's like you're trying to prove it too much that this man is dead. And what I personally think is they probably wanted him gone. But Trump, you know, Trump likes this kid. So Trump probably didn't want nothing bad to happen to his boy. And probably saved him by saying, look, we want to put you in a protection program. And, you know, we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna make it seem like they clipped you, man. They gotta make it look real. If Hollywood can recreate dinosaurs, man, make it look real, King Kong, anything can appear on TV. Even 9/11 is another thing that's sketchy when it comes to this government. So, you know what I'm saying, like, we don't know if this man is gone, you know, for sure. You know what I'm saying? The funeral, like, you know, the memorial, all these little skeptical things that's happening, man. You know, 2 days later, she's kneeling over his casket. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of, I could be wrong. And I said, I'm not trying to offend anybody or disrespect people, but it just doesn't sit right with me, man. It didn't sit right with me after, particularly after I saw the footage of her, like, you know, kneeling over him and stuff like that. And it looked like he was already in his coffin. You know, like, I'm trying to figure out how is that possible that fast. I know Muslims, we bury pretty fast. Normally, with an event like this, though, I'm not saying he was buried, but with an event like this, you know, you want to give people time. Then what about the autopsy, you know, and what about the cause of death? Like, you know, there was a lot to be examined. And in 2 days, you got this man ready to go? Like, nah, I don't understand it. something just don't seem right with this shit, man. And the people that, you know, even some of the people that, you know, you think are pro for their people and they're anti-gun, you gotta watch and start digging into these people's past. And then when you dig into their past too, his family, you know, there's ties that I've seen online, you know, when I read the Wikipedia, his ties, his father had ties to Trump Towers, helped, you know, develop them. You know, the young lady's wife was a Miss Teen, Miss USA, and she was in different pageants, had all these, she was running you know, a couple of groups, and she went to join his group and ended up getting married. You know, so I read these things, like, you know, there's a lot of, you know, coincidences, man. I'm just putting on my conspiracy theory hat. You know, sometimes I get into these conspiracy theories, that's what I said. I don't totally believe he's not dead, but, you know, there's a 90% chance he could be gone, and a 10% chance he could be alive. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? If that's something, if they plan that, we'll never know. Just like if it was a professional hit, like normally when you're going for somebody that high in the ranks, it's going to take a professional to do that. Because there's too much security around him. You know what I'm saying? So if that is the case, you know what I'm saying, that they don't miss. So they're not going to make those mistakes. Just like when you saw Trump shit, a professional assassin not going to make a mistake and hit his ear or miss it. Like, come on, they don't miss, man. These are trained assassins, man. So, you know, you got all these Marines, and you got hit this way, and all right, it could have been, he could have been that could have been the case. We don't know. But all we know is sometimes things are made to appear what they seem, but they really not what they seem. You know what I mean? We don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't trying to, you know, burn my energy too much on this situation, but it seems like, you know, somebody definitely wanted him out of here. My personal opinion is I feel like maybe Trump liked that family particularly, and, you know, didn't want to see nothing bad happen to the young fella, and maybe he's protecting him. You know what I'm saying? But if it was a Lone Ranger, that's awful security, awful. I ain't gonna get to the handshake, all that shit that was going on too, like, but if that was security, and they let that shit happen, and it was a lone wolf, and you let that shit happen, shame on that security. But to me, if it did happen, that shit definitely was an inside job. If it happened the way being told to happen, somebody knew something. But anyway, man, that being said, I'm gonna leave it at that, man. You know, like I said, I don't like to get into conspiracy theorists and all that shit, but, you know, if that man is gone, rest in peace, and I, you know, do pray for his family, regardless of his views or what people think he was, you know what I'm saying, how he felt or whatever, you know, regardless of what people call him, still a human being. And he was always, as long as he was breathing, was subject to change. So I'm not gonna, you know, get on here and be like, well, that's good for him, and, you know, his race, we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, respect to his family, rest in peace to him, you know, but if this is a conspiracy and that man is still alive, we'll probably never know. But it is what it is, man. I ain't here to, you know, cause no problem. The industry hoax is coming with something, man. That I saw. I'm saying a few other people feel the same way too that I've, you know, conversated with. Cause I could have been, just came out and said this video. I've been feeling like this for a few days, but I said, nah, I'm gonna wait. But it is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody gonna get to the bottom of this. You know what I mean? But if it is, you know, done by professionals, they're never gonna know. Just like JFK. They really don't know what happened to him. They know what happened to him, but they don't know really who's behind what. We got an idea, but that's just an idea. And let me back to this workout. Many Face Publishing, I'm out, man. I'll see you guys later, man. Peace.